Good afternoon, everyone. Today, we will discuss the roles of teacher and learner in the 19th century and 21st century. So, dito, we put some objectives just to specify what we really discuss and for the formality of our discussion. So, this is our Venn diagram. We put the word art education, in which it can be the guide of teachers to help students develop all of their skills and knowledge. So it can be related for teachers and learners. So let's start with in 19th century.
In 19th century, there is women inequality, wherein there is a limited access to higher learning and leadership. So that means in way back 19th century, the women have no rights to study in school, and only men have the privilege to study and to learn, to graduate, and to have a profession in the higher position in the society. And way back to 19th century also, the women have has no rights to go in school because they believe that the the women can only be able to be in the house to have the household chores. In 21st century, there are better gender equality. Women have access to higher learning institutions, advancement, and leadership roles. Unlike in 19th century, in 21st century, all all genders have the rights to go in school to learn and to have a profession, the higher position in the society. In now in 21st century, we have access to higher learnings in in college degrees. Women can have a profession. Also in the government, in the political government, women can be a president of our nation.
So in 19th century, primitive development of school system in general. So I think the scope of 19th century is the end of the Spanish period and the start of American period. So let's have a preview for the previous period. So in the pre-colonial period, education can be both academic and vocation. So our parents can act as our teacher, wherein they teach their sons to be warriors, hunters, miners, and all doings by men during that time. While their daughters are able to learn from cooking, gardening, and other household doings. In the Spanish period, the European system of education was introduced. So they built primary schools, colleges, and universities. And the aim of the Spanish was to make the Filipino become obedient and God-fearing Christians. So those people who finish study, yung mga edukado, yung mga pupunta na ibang bansa, they called as ilustrados. So then followed by the American period. So ito na. They let women to study, and those American teachers were called Thomasites sila. Thomasites yung tawag sa kanila. Then in Japanese periods, dito na yung pagpapalaganap ng Filipino culture, then the existence of vocational education and elementary school. So sa primitive, pwede natin siyang masabi na magulo kasi iba-iba yung mga namumuno. Then the education system always change. So however, we learn something. Hindi lang siya basta something, napakadami. Kasi kumbaga, nagkaroon na tayo ng pundasyon sa education. In this primitive development, I think the students are more diligent. So, in learnings naman, um, kumbaga kumpara natin sa 21st century, in learnings, ayun, kumbaga kasi 'di ba dito sa 21st century, nagkaroon na ng priority yung gobyerno sa ating mga students na mag-aral. Kumbaga education for all na yung kumbaga quote eh. Kaso yun nga, in terms of learnings, hindi na yung learnings mismo na word, hindi tentative pa sa ngayon sa 21st century. Kasi hindi natin alam kung lahat ba kunwari lahat ba ng estudyante ay nakaupo sa isang classroom ay natututo ba sa isang araw. Ayun. Kaya imbes na education for all, dapat na learning for all. So dito sa part na to, primitive development, kumbaga ayun nga, naging fix tayo dito. Ito yung pinagmulan ng ah, system process ng education natin hanggang sa nag-innovate tayo na hanggang dumating na itong modern technology. Next ulit.
In 19th century, there are limited instructional resources and materials. So way back 19th century, in our education, we only have Manila papers, blackboards, and chalk, wherein it is the only way to deliver the lessons, to learn by using notebooks, books. Unlike and in 21st century, next slide, 21st century. In 21st century, there are rich in resources and materials in society. So nowadays, in 21st century, we have different applications. We have different social media that we can use in our education. We have different technologies like laptop, and even in schools where we learn using laptops and cell phones. So nowadays, in this time of pandemic, we can learn through online classes like Zoom, Google Meet. So this is the 21st century wherein we have rich in resources and materials in the society.
The next slide. So, in 19th century naman, nakalagay dito is classicism. So, parang itong classicism kasi in simple definition, nag-identify siya sa mga yung klase ng society, yung may mga maharlika, yung may mga mababang uri, yung mga ganun. Kaya dito naman, ko-connect natin siya in education. So, that time, 19th century, kapag kasi mayaman ka, ganun, mas mataas yung educational attainment mo, tas mas may chance ka na makapag-aral, mas maganda yung service na makukuha mo sa habang nag-aaral ka compare sa mga mahihirap na kumbaga tentative pa kung makakapag-aral ba sila or hindi dahil rin sa sistema ng pamumuhay nila. In 21st century, ito umira lang pluralistic and multicultural society. So dito muna tayo sa multicultural society. So nagre-refer siya sa coexistence of diverse religious, ethnic or cultural groups within a society. So it simply says lang na that several different cultures coexist peacefully and equitably. So in other words, there is no dominant culture. Dito kasi sa multicultural society, example lang nito, kunwari, teacher. So nagdi-discuss ako, then I state my opinion. So bago ako mag-state ng opinions ko as a teacher, kailangan yung opinion ko is kino-consider ko lahat ng tao. Kunwari, yung pagiging paniniwala ko sa mga about biblical statement, dapat ko-consider ko din yung ibang religion para hindi sila baka kasi may times na ma-offend sila, ganun na yung way of teaching. Then next, sa pluralism naman, so it refers to a phenomenon where minority groups participate fully in the dominant society. There is dominant culture. So the way na nag-i-exist yung multicultural society, nag-i-exist din yung pluralism. Kasi ayun lang yung way ng iba ng mga minority, ng mga iilan para maka-cope up sila sa kung ano yung nag-i-innovate, kung ano yung nagbabago sa mga society natin. So kung ano yung mga nag-i-exist na culture, yung mga pinapractice ng karamihan.
So with this, in education, the 19th and 21st century led us to have more creative minds and innovate more things that we can use in the future. We invent more technologies that we can use in the future generations.
Slide next. Yan. In negative sides naman, some leaders or teachers question the benefits of art education. So ito na nga yun, yung tinutukoy natin about sa learnings. In 19th century kasi, we know that yun nga yung paiba-iba yung mga educational system natin. Then we are not sure kung effective ba nung panahon na yon yung mga educational system na ginagamit natin. Plus in the fact na dati, yun nga, yung limited resources, kung limited lang yung resources dati, yun, kung, tas yung mga ginagamit natin is traditional, yun, hindi natin, question natin kung paano nga ba, kumbaga, umaangat nga ba yung learnings, nag-i-improve. Then, pati ngayon, kasi kahit na sabihin nating modern technology na tayo, then, kahit pwede na tayong gumamit ng iba't ibang way para mas madalian tayo sa pagtuturo at sa, sa learning process natin, hindi pa rin tayo sure kung ganun ba talaga. Kasi kunwari, sa modern technology na lang, mas napapadali tayo. Pero, yung learnings natin, andun ba, sapat ba? Example na lang dito yung sa math, sa subject natin sa math. Ngayon, marami na tayong mga math application tools na nagagamit. Unlike dati na talagang more on sulat ng formula, kakabisa din yung formula, yun, by method. Unlike ngayon na marami na tayong mga easier way, mga tools na ita-type na lang natin doon yung kumbaga yung solution. Lalabas na kagad yung mga sagot. Ganun. Next. So, ayan po yung reference namin about sa Venn diagram na ginawa namin. Although, may mga binawas kami ng onte. Namili lang po kami ng may emphasize po namin. And this is the presentation of Group 4. Thank you.